Hello everybody and welcome to another PvP walkthrough video. In today's clip, I'm going to go over a situation in which myself and my teammates, Doc and E, are having a fire in a house in the middle of the woods because we needed it to keep warm and also to cook some food. As you might know, having fires in DayZ is a big risk, but is sometimes very necessary. In this situation, we're playing Winter Trinaris, so it's very cold outside, and you need the fires to keep you warm, give you the heat buff so you can travel without catching cold and burning extra calories because you are in the light blue or dark blue temperature range. And, you know, cooking food requires a fire. So it's something that is needed on this map, and even if you're playing on official, you're going to have to make fires from time to time if you do any hunting or fishing. So this is applicable no matter what. Now, you might be thinking, what about having a fire to keep warm or to cook food requires a PvP breakdown? Well, in this situation, we get ambushed as we push outside of the house. So there's a discussion to be had about picking a place to have a fire in the first place. If you decide to have an outdoor fire, where is the best location for you to be able to, hide, keep your fire discreet, or even just to have a good location to protect yourself while also getting warm and being able to cook your food? If you choose to have an indoor fire, it's the same thing, but which house is the most defensible? You're considering the amount of windows in that house, you're considering the different entry points that you're going to have to defend, you're considering, hill lines, tree lines around that can shoot down or into your house, or places that people can hide when you decide to push out. In our case, in this clip, we decided to do an indoor fire because it was easier to get the heat buff since we're indoors, and this house that we picked in particular had a large oven place so that we could cook our food as fast as possible. Now take a look at our surroundings. We're in an isolated, stilted house that's pretty much in the middle of the woods down the hill from the Mogilevka Vishnoi Castle. We chose this one in particular because of its isolation. It's not going to see a lot of foot traffic and there's not a lot of POIs around, so we were in the area and decided to pick this house for its convenience and its isolation. The thing about this spot in particular, though, is its location on a hill. Behind the house, there's a lot of trees. There's a forested area that goes up the hill that has clear eyes down into our windows. And that is a big danger, and it's something that I was very anxious about in the moment. And if, I'll roll the parts before we get into this fight, I am constantly looking out these windows, hoping that nobody spots our fire and decides to go on that hillside and shoot into us, because we are just sitting ducks in here then. And same with the other side too. There is a bit of a valley, and then on the other side, facing the front end of the house, there's another hill that can easily shoot into our building. So in terms of location and elevation, this is a pretty shit position to be in. But again, we figured it might be okay. We're only going to be here 5-10 minutes, and it's very isolated in the woods. Not a lot of people come down this way, and we just figured that it'd be okay. But this is DayZ, and things never go to plan in this game. So we end up getting jumped, and here is where we start the breakdown. But real quick, I do want to say, for some reason, ever since the new Windows update, my audio in my recordings has been super weird. So if you listen to Ian Doc's voice, I might sound a little weird. I'm not quite sure how to describe it, but I'll do my best to fix it and make it sound presentable in post. But, just in case you're wondering, I am having audio recording issues, but this was a really good situation to use, and I still want to use it despite that fact. So the situation, as I mentioned before, good to go. Starts as we finish up at the fire and we begin to push outside of the house.
Not gonna keep his life, or? Okay.
I mean, with the good spawn, I would probably be fast enough.
By the tree.
Doc is the first to leave and is immediately presented with gunfire. He is close behind him and notices the gunfire, obviously, hangs in the doorway and is able to make a really good call and spot so that Doc and I both understand where we're being shot from. I was covering our rear and decided to not push out of the house and try and get an angle on this guy through the window, which I did. My shot looked on point. It hit the tree. I'm not sure if it clipped through the tree and made contact with him, or if that was E, hitting the guy with her SKS. Regardless, the guy goes down. His only uncon I call dead. Really bad call on my part. I thought it looked like a death animation, but it wasn't, and we find this out later.
By the tree.
Up or down?
Down, down, down.
Okay.
Dead.
Nice.
Another?
Beautiful.
Oh no, that's
Oh,
Doc.
me. Oh.
Two.
And then, as we're recovering from this big dump of adrenaline, we are immediately shot at again by probably this guy's partner, somewhere further down our hill and maybe up on the other side. We are now in a position where E and I are kind of sitting ducks in this house, and I make the call for us to reposition to the back and figure out where to go from here.
Yo, Mosin from the other hill.
Okay, we need to get behind the house.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Okay, I'm.
Now he's dead. SK guy.
Where's
the
this?
guy still alive? He was just uncon.
Other side of the hill. Other side of the hill.
Yeah, I know. Just I don't know exactly where.
I'm taking cover down by the river.
I see you. I don't know what to do. We're so in a bad spot.
We are in a
gotta
bad
peel
spot.
now.
I can
Okay. Well, I'm glad you guys have some sights. You know.
maybe we back up the hill.
Are you running down the hill?
No.
No,
It
no,
seems
no,
like
no.
the tree line which leads down from your hill down towards the river. This is where he is. I saw him running down there, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, well we're behind the stilted. We need to make a move though. We can't just sit here.
Yeah.
Let's
we
go
need to
up.
make 'em-
Uphill. Knowing the other guy's position is really helpful because E and I know where to go to use as cover. And then Doc, since he's the one we think that's being shot at in the moment, and he takes this as an opportunity to draw fire and allow us to relocate and put ourselves in a position to take this other guy out. Now what we didn't know is it seems like this guy was actually shooting at either E or I, and that's who he was paying attention to. So we get behind the house, use that as cover, and this guy is immediately flanking and trying to get eyes on us from a different angle. We don't know this at the time, so we are sort of just discussing where to go in anticipation of a flank or, another engagement from someone else. We don't know how many there are at this point. So we want to play it safe and put ourselves in a much better position rather than sitting in the house or just behind it with no cover other than the house itself. So I make the call to push up the hill and use the trees as cover and a means of flanking. So that's what we do.
Alright.
And just hide in these trees, kind of, like use them to protect us. Good thing you moved from that window. Okay, Doc, we went up behind the house, up the hill a little bit. Oh, I see him! On me, straight ahead. Hit him, dead.
Can't help you.
Dead. He's good. We're good.
Good shit.
GG's. Let's be mindful. There might be somebody else.
And as we push up, and I'm rotating around trying to get an angle in the sky while Doc holds the opposite end of the hill, trying to draw fire because, again, we thought that this guy was sniping at Doc. As we push around, I make a lucky spot, and I see this guy in his all white up against the tree, sat waiting for us. He just made the perfect counterflank, probably saw us moving, sat, waited, and was going to take a shot at us. But I happened to see him before he was able to get said shot off, and I spray my M16 kind of badly at him, and then get one last burst fire as he disappears behind the tree into him, and that kills them. So, the being able to put ourselves in a better position to flank ended up helping us counterflank this guy and save our asses in the long run. And what this can teach you is to never get complacent in one position, especially in a very open environment, I'll say. If you're PvPing close quarters and you're stuck in a building, you're stuck in a building. There's really not much you can do in that case. But in this environment, where it's very open, there's a lot of elevation, a lot of sniper positions, and not many places to sit and hold tightly, movement and flanking and repositioning to get the best possible angle on where you last know the sniper was is key. If we would have just sat behind that house the whole time or sat inside the house, this Mosin guy would have flanked all the way around, gotten to the, a top position on the hill, been very elevated, had tree cover, and would have been able to shoot directly down on top of us, whether we were in the house or in that position behind the house. We would have been sitting ducks. So, if anything, there's a few things you can take from the situation. This is all the PvP that happens. It's a 3v2. We come out, 3 alive. We killed the other 2. It felt very clean to win the situation this way, but it also could have been very messy. Number 1, clear comms when you get ambushed so that everybody can react and cover each other and, take down the shooter. That is very important. If you just get shot at and you scream and panic and run away and you don't tell your teammates where this person is at, they can't help you. Doc was able to kind of reposition. He was right behind him, was able to give us clear comms. We identified and located the guy, took him out pretty quickly. And then on the other hand, like I just discussed, not be sitting ducks. Doc pushed out of the house, was able to move positions, not sit inside the house, found a place with cover, was able to finish the very first guy because we thought we killed him, but he was only uncon and ended up, trying to hide, and Doc got him. So repositioning helped in that case as well. But also for E and I, we decided to not sit in the house. We decided not to sit just behind the house. We decided that the best course of action was to get elevation and use the trees as cover, whether we wanted to sit at the elevated area, try and spot the sniper, or just reposition like we end up doing. Either way, that gives us options, and we don't sit in one spot waiting to get sniped by the guy who ended up trying to flank us to catch us in that position in the end. So clear communications and smart repositioning and trying to give yourself the environmental advantage, the best that you can, are keys when you're getting ambushed like that. You don't always have to take it head on. Sometimes you don't have a choice, but in this scenario, we were able to take out the first guy and gives ourselves an opportunity to spread ourselves out a little bit and take out both targets. So this is a very short, very sweet analysis and scenario, but I think it's very important. Fires are something that we all have to do in DayZ, no matter the server that you're playing on, unless you're playing a very modded version, whatever. But in vanilla DayZ, whether it's winter hardcore or it's just official Trinaris, fires are something that everyone has to make in order to cook food, stay warm, and whatnot. So, this is a very relatable scenario that maybe a lot of you might find yourself in. And these are the steps that you can take, the communications and the callouts that you can make, and the repositioning and flanks that you can make to win yourself the gunfight. So guys, if you enjoyed, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more DayZ walkthroughs, tutorials, breakdowns, and even live streams. I live stream Monday through Friday every single week. I do this full time. So if you want to see more of that content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. And if you want to get involved in the community, make sure to join my Discord, link in the description. Other than that, hope you guys enjoyed. Comment what kind of analysis type video or walkthrough you want to see next down below. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.